When you look at Seattle right now, is there any way that the team that you feel like the NBA would return there? Because I know Sacramento was rumored to go there. You're in Vegas, right? Another hot market. We get to that in a minute, and you're involved with the Golden Knights. But you look in Seattle, you think there's an opportunity we'll see a team there before 2030, possibly?
Possibly in Seattle, yes. Vegas is getting pretty crowded. There's a lot of teams here, and we're not that big of a city. We're only 2.2 million people, locals. I mean, we get a lot of tourists, obviously, but you see what Seattle's done with the Kraken. I mean, wow. I mean, like they sold out in like 30 minutes. So I think an NBA team would go well there. But they're a bigger city than Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I mean, we're growing, but there's always already talks of baseball coming. There's football here. There's hockey. There's women's basketball. We're getting inundated with teams. And now we got the Padel.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I mean, there comes a point where there's too many teams, and for the market size.
Is it at that point now? Because I tell people all the time, I don't think the NBA needs a team in Las Vegas because they're out there every summer. But I understand it's the entertainment capital of the world, possibly. So I get why they would want to be there, though I just don't think it makes sense, just for me.
I think they wowould do well. I think, but you remember, I mean, there's rumors of baseball coming in. So there's another. See, what stretches is the corporate dollar. That's what's going to stretch. Because if you're a corporation, who do you sponsor? Do you sponsor basketball, or do you sponsor hockey? Do you sponsor baseball? Do you sponsor the Raiders? Do you sponsor the Knights? I mean, you can't sponsor all the teams. And there's not that many corporations here. There's casinos, but you don't want the casinos necessarily buying all the tickets, because those are tourists. When we put the deal together for the NHL, for the Golden Knights, my brother and I, the league wanted to sell 10,000 local season tickets. They didn't want tourists. I mean, you do want tourists, but we want a base and a foundation for locals. Right. That's what's important, because if you have too many tickets, yes, and you want to get the local people involved in your team. And I think Bill Foley's done a good job of doing that, as we have, of connecting the Knights with the city. And I don't think there's really a better connection of a team and the community than the Knights in Las Vegas.
Yeah. You hear so many. I haven't been to a Golden Knights game yet, but maybe you'll escort me to one day, because I tell you, but I love hockey, though. I'm from Philadelphia again, so the Flyers, Ed Snyder, for me, the best owner that ever, that ever lived for me. You're my second favorite, Gavin. You're my second favorite. But Ed Snyder's my first. He's always going to be my first. But I mean, hockey is just in Philadelphia, and I was at a Devils game recently, and I just, I love hockey. What is it like in today's sports economy being an NHL owner, even at the minority level?
Well, this is a very special situation here, because we went to the Stanley Cup our first year. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's ever happened. Maybe way back when the league was formed, there was
the Gavin Maloof touch, because the Kings made the playoffs the first year y'all took over, I believe, right? So you can call it Maloof touch.
Yes, you're right. We've been in the playoffs. Every team that we've owned, we've owned three different teams: the Rockets, the Knights, and the Kings. And we've been in the playoffs about 90% of the time that we've owned it. Yeah. So but it was a special situation. And by the way, we're going to be in the playoffs, so reach out to me. We got a suite at center ice, so you're welcome to come anytime, and we'll go to the game. But it's exciting. You remember the Philadelphia playoffs? I mean, they're absolutely incredible, and I love Ed Snyder. Yeah, but God rest his soul. But
absolutely, Ed Snyder. He was such a great dude. You mentioned the corporate dollars, right? Take it back right quick. In Las Vegas, and I would think, as you were saying, and I'm thinking to myself, I know you love the NBA, you were owner, but I would be, if you're an NHL owner now, aren't you resistant for an NBA team to come up, because that's corporate dollars that they could possibly take away from the NHL?
No, we're not resistant, because we still have ties to the NBA in certain areas, and we love the NBA. We're not like that. If they want to come in, we'll welcome them with open arms. I'm just saying that the climate it starts to get a little tough when you got 6 or 7 teams that are splitting that dollar. Yeah. Because just like I say, even us, I mean, we have a skybox at the arena. We have one at the the stadium. I mean, are we going to have one when the NBA comes in? Are we going to have one when the baseball comes? You know, it starts to get thin. And there's a lot of games now. There's a lot going on. Before, when you know, I've always advocated a team in Las Vegas. You know, I was really in the forefront of this whole thing because my brother Joe and I went and saw Gary Bettman when we sold the Kings. We went and saw Gary. We worked on bringing the Knights here for 4 years, and we got a hold of Bill Foley, and he came in. He'd never been to Vegas, but we got a hold of him, and together we put it together and brought it here. But it was 4 years to bring it here, but there were no teams. And so when the Knights came in, we made a connection, like I said, that was unbreakable, and it was incredible. And that was the first team, and then the Raiders came, and then the Aces came, and now you're talking about baseball coming, and now you're talking about NBA. You know, there's a lot going on here. So I hope that the city can handle it. I know there's not a lot of people here. It seems like a lot, but those are all tourists.